What is the female equivalent of a neckbeard? Story 1. She doesn't take care of herself at all. She may be very overweight because of this, but not necessarily. She's weak, her hair hangs in some blank, non-style, unless she's on her way to an anime con, in which case she wears some wig or does it up with multicolored dreads and extensions. Her skin is bad. She alternates between not wearing makeup and wearing deliberately unflattering makeup. For example, dark purple lipstick, because she thinks that by defying typical beauty standards, she is above them, when in reality, her defiance is evidence of her obsession with standards of beauty. She dresses in lots of baggy black things because she's ashamed of her body. She has very low self-esteem. She claims to be bisexual because she thinks some girls are pretty, and she once kissed a girl to show off or prove a point about how daring and unconventional she is. She has never dated a woman or done it with a woman. She claims to be a pagan because she once shoplifted a silver raven wolf book and set up a Wiccan altar in her bedroom, which is now gathering mold under some old containers of manic panic and dirty t-shirts. She doesn't know any other pagans and doesn't remember when any of the holidays are except for Samhain. She would desperately like a boyfriend, but she's too awkward and ashamed and fearful of real intimacy to have one. She covers for her low self-esteem by pretending no man is good enough for her. She has a laundry list of traits she says she's looking for. For instance, he has to be tall, muscular, athletic, a genius, kind to animals, and he has to look like Ryan Gosling and be a stallion in bed. And he has to love all the same things she does. Until she meets this ludicrous fantasy man, she derives her inflated sense of self-worth from the 2 or 3 awkward and scrawny teenage boys, often younger than her, who follow her around and sit at her feet. Even if you look past her pompous facade and try to talk to her, you find she has little to say. She only talks about herself and her friends and their private in-jokes. She constantly makes pop culture references to her favorite TV shows and movies, and if you don't understand them all, she rolls her eyes and stomps away indignantly. Story 2. She's not like other girls. She hates drama. She doesn't wear makeup because it's fake, and see, also not like other girls. She's super into Wicca and magic, and often goes by Akasha Moonlight. She wears neckties over t-shirts and fingerless gloves. Tabletop RPGs are her weekly night out. She keeps offering to make her friends reusable cloth sanitary towels. She supports PETA when it suits her. She's celibate by choice because her anime crush isn't real and no one else measures up. Edit. She throws random Japanese words and phrases into English sentences, and even though you don't watch anime, you know she's using them wrong. When you call her out on that stuff, she pouts and mutters, "Baka?" under her breath. She made her own prom dress, and you were so embarrassed for her, you contemplated burning it off of her. She boasts of her sewing skills to this day, having made 1 or 2 misshapen, unidentifiable plushies and a purse out of a pair of old skater jeans. She claims to smoke clove cigarettes, but you saw her awkwardly pose with one once without smoking it whatsoever. Also, you know her parents would end her life if she smoked. She's secretly happy they're illegal now, so she can whine about not having any without anyone being able to call her on it. When it benefits her to be one of the guys, she'll break her neck trying, but the second it looks like being a woman will score her some points, she'll ham that up to the best of her ability. One minute she's all, "I can take it, don't treat me like a girl," and the next it's, "You wouldn't hit a woman, would you?" She goes to the cool goth store downtown just to look at all the stuff she can't afford, to the point that she's starting to be some kind of store groupie. The staff all know her by name and are sick of letting her try on pewter jewelry she's not going to buy. You can't remember the last time 6 months went by that she didn't have some sort of crisis, illness, bereavement, or reason for everyone to be super nice and supportive and let her get away with being a brat. 90% of these things are, you suspect, made up, but it's not worth accusing her because she hates drama. Story 3. I have a Facebook friend through a hockey team. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to sports, but she fancies herself a little bit of a puck bunny. That is, someone that chases after professional hockey players when she's about 50 pounds overweight and clingy as heck. She has a boyfriend that she talks about on Facebook, but he doesn't believe in Facebook and refers to him as himself because he doesn't want his identity on the grid. Maybe he's embarrassed of you or doesn't exist, so you had to cover your tracks. She posts on Facebook about her traditional values, cooking for her brothers, and her really boring nephews that she obsesses over. She has this obsession with things like real gentlemen treat women like this, etc., because I think her version of men is Disney romanticized and not based in actual fact. She has a white knight friend who comments on her posts a lot, like a puppy dog. She seems to ignore him because he's like a 4 or 5 in attractiveness, about where she is, but she still thinks about hockey players she played volleyball with. I'm pretty sure she's single, goes to church all the time, and gets drunk with gay male friends about how nobody pays any attention to her. Story 4. The female equivalent of a neckbeard is a not like those other girls girl. Yeah, you're a female, but you're not like, those other girls. Other girls are stupid and vapid and only care about boys and shopping. Other girls only watch rom-coms, and their favorite activities are gossiping and stabbing each other in the back. Other girls are horses who wear tacky clothes and too much makeup and have no self-respect. You're not like that. You watch anime, subs only of course, and play video games. You don't read Twilight or any of those crappy paranormal romance novels. You read comic books and A Song of Ice and Fire, which you liked before the show, thank you very much. You'd rather fling yourself off an overpass than wear something girly or pink. All your friends are guys, and they know you're one of them. You're one of the cool girls. You're smarter than all those ditzy popular girls, and that makes you better than them. You're a unique and special snowflake amongst a sea of clones, like bot other girls. And maybe, just maybe, one day some cute nerdy guy will see you for the catch you are and be the derp to your derpina. Story 5. I met a girl this weekend who proclaimed to me within the first 20 minutes of meeting her that she is a cow furry. She also made sure I was aware that she's a true feminist and doesn't even own a bra, nor has she ever shaved her legs since she was a try-hard high schooler. So, her. I do want to make a point that the girl in question was not completely socially retarded either. I actually had a decent conversation or two with her over the night, nor was she overly unattractive, which, as I realize this, baffles me about as much as her open cow furryism. She's actually a decent person with these really weird beliefs she apparently has to share with people upon meeting them. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video and have a wonderful day. Story 6. I think the female equivalent of a neckbeard is one who has a jaded, cynical outlook on society. She is extremist about the things that matter: environment, animal rights, politics, world hunger, etc. Yet she is largely uninformed and spouting what she's recently read on social media. She's under the impression that all she does supports her beliefs, and everything everyone else does is wrong and wasteful. She will constantly attempt to push her lifestyle on everyone she knows, then wonder why no one spends time with her. Her fandom is the only fandom, falling in line with her obsessive outlook. Hypocrisy is the name of her game, and God forbid you call her out on it. Story 7. It used to be me. I was chubby, got dreadlocks to show how different I was, shopped only at Hot Topic, and sat cross-legged, ramen in hand, while I watched subbed anime for hours on end. I hung out with all the neckbeard guys because they fawned over me, had strong but uneducated opinions, and was briefly vegan before a made-up illness made me stop. Blacked out my windows, collected swords, and thought that those Naruto headbands were literally the most amazing thing ever made. Then high school ended, and I realized I was a little poop and became normal. There's still hope for all the she-beards out there. Story 8. 300 pounds, slipknot shirt, Wiccan necklace, the fat rockabilly girl who is often seen at metal concerts or anime conventions. She's often in her 20s, attending community college, and is caught somewhere between dressing like a goth up top and a punk down below. She claims to be random by wearing her Invader Zim or Johnny the Homicidal Maniac shirt, even though everyone stopped caring about them about 10 years ago. Her favorite shirt is a Slipknot concert shirt that rarely gets washed, but worn almost every day to Japanese class, which she's failing because the teacher is a total baka. Story 9. Well, think about it. Neckbeards are basically gross guys who pass judgment on girls, even though they themselves aren't trying to be desirable physically. The guy who wants a hot girl and has super high standards, probably to avoid having to try with girls, even though his personal standards for himself are 0. The equivalent is girls who pass judgment on guys' personalities and then bring absolutely nothing to the table themselves. No sense of humor, no intellect, no interests. Just boring girls who want to be with Renaissance men and nothing less. Story 10. Leather corset pushing the fat up to look like huge boobly bloobies, which doesn't fool anyone. Frequently uses a British accent despite everyone visibly cringing, sings louder than the radio so people are forced to listen, says things like, "Thank goodness it's Friday," and wears crystals to charge up her energy or some crap. Listening to Ani DeFranco and Tori Amos, wears too much makeup and not well, goes to LAN parties or magic tournaments because the ratio suits her. Story 11. I am a librarian, and I would have to say library science majors, females, are the weirdest bunch of people I have ever met. Hoodies with animal ears on them day. Fangirling over everything. Never left their dorms or apartments unless it was for class or for comic conventions. Some of the things that came out of their mouths were the strangest things. Ugh, I almost changed my major because of all the female neckbeards. Story 12. I have a friend that might fit. Overweight, doesn't take care of herself, smells like butt and cigarettes, pansensual, or bi, I forgot, Tumblr social justice warrior. Will try to debate you in everything, which usually turns out to be a pushed lecture to which we live in a patriarchy and how women and LGBT have it the worst. I'm not saying I don't agree or anything, but can we talk about something else? Maybe she's just a butthole. Story 13. Ah yes, the lady neckbeards, curtsying their skirts to all the milord while they post their gift sets on Tumblr. Always complaining about how they get friend-zoned by guys who only care about looks, yet never go out of their way to interact with guys in any meaningful way. Story 14. The cosplaying super anime girls who meow to each other. It doesn't matter how far I get from home, I still see these groups, and they usually function in groups of 2. Cat ears girl. Meow. Fedora guy. Milady. Cat ears girl. Fedora guy. Friend-zoned again. Story 15. A backpack covered in pop culture pins, a Doctor Who t-shirt, and poorly dyed black hair. She complains that she has no friends that are girls, but also rants about how she's not like other chicks. Story 16. Horse girls. How has nobody said this yet? It's like some switch was flipped in their brain at an early age where horses come before all else. Story 17. Fat girls who think they're beautiful and that guys are shallow for not wanting to date them instead of those anorexic witches. Story 18. The pansensual, genderqueer, otherkin, free-bleeding, weeboo, radfem, heath woman of color all over Tumblr come to mind. Story 19. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Story 20. Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie person, kinda universal. Story 21. A social justice warrior, otherkin, demi-sensual Tumblrina. Story 22. Let us not forget the internationally awkward girl. Story 23. Those weird furry anime ears. Please leave your stories in the comments. I'd love to make a video of them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.